Hello again, and welcome back to another illegally cited Twitch stream. This is Jesse, and I know it's been a while. Kind of took most of April off because I did a video early on in the month letting you guys know a lot of the technical issues I was having, and I used a whole boatload of bandwidth early this month re-downloading games and troubleshooting and re-downloading operating systems and fighting with my new gaming PC that I don't have anymore. We're back to the old trusty computer that I've been using for the past 5-6 years, 6 years or so now. And yeah, so if you want to see that little story, check out April's channel update video on the update for my gaming PC. And now I have to find a new one. But ordinarily I was going to wait till May before I start streaming again, but I figured a game came out that I just had to play at launch, and aside from getting a little peek at it yesterday, I wanted to kind of get a lot of genuine reaction to it live. I did a stream of it when Riley was up here, and I've covered it. I did a full Let's Play of it on the channel early on. The Stanley Parable is one of my favorite games in the last several years. It would be called a walking simulator by what some people say. But the Stanley Parable is kind of a riff on like video game tropes and just weird stuff in general. The voice actor, I forget his name, but the narrator that kind of narrates things as you're playing the game, he's really good. And it's just really funny. He's kind of got this just dry British humor wit to him. And there's some genuinely funny stuff. But that came out in 2013, I believe. And now we have in 2022 this the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So there is a bunch of new content here, in addition to the old stuff. In addition to it being on PC, it is also on your console of choice.
2169.
Hi. Hello.
Hope it is okay I joined.
No, of course it is.
What is this game about? Is it voiceover accessible or screen reader accessible?
No, it is not. It is a game that you need some vision to be able to play, but as a blind viewer of it, you'll probably get a lot out of this game because it's actually really funny. It's based on the narration of what you do, and it's called the Stanley Parable. We haven't started it yet. We're just getting into it. But yeah, it's available on your console of choice as well as PC. I even decided to pick it up on the Switch because I want it in portable form. But let's just dive right into it here. The Stanley Parable, it's kind of a hard game to explain. You'll kind of see as we get into it here. And once... Uh-oh. What the... Okay, my mouse froze for a minute. Okay, let's put English subtitles so people can have that. Yes, I have. And the brightness, I might tink it up just a tiny bit because it was a little dark when I played that before. Right, it wants to know the time. Now, I don't know why that comes into play. But, okay, what is it? 6:08. Okay, let's, 6:08. And you'll have to let me know if the audio mixing is okay. 6:08 p.m. There we go.
2169. Do you think there is a possibility of it becoming screen reader accessible in the future? How visual is the game actually?
I mean, it's tricky to say because, I mean, it's a first-person game. It's not a shooter or anything, but it's It's a story-based game, but there's all kinds of branching paths and little visual gags in the environment. But there's, again, the whole game is based off of audio narration. So you play this guy named Stanley who works in an office. We're at the main menu now. He is just this office drone that is doing his job every other day. You'll see in the intro. And the game is just going to start out, the narrator guides you through what Stanley is supposed to do. But the game is like really short. I mean, literally you can get through the main story in like, 5-10 minutes? But the thing is like there's all these branching paths, and you can break the story and you can go do other things, and it just gets nuts. So we're just going to play. And I've played the original before, and I've played a tiny bit of the new release that came out yesterday, but hopefully as we get farther into it, there'll be some new stuff for me here. But it's a hard game to explain, so let's just play it. And I'll let the narrator explain, because he'll do it better than I will.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
All right, so there's
and then one day, something very peculiar happened.
The Stanley Parable.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not
2169.
one single order
Can you
had
possibly
arrived
get
on the
through all
monitor
of the
for
different
him to
paths in
follow.
one stream?
No one had showed
No.
up to
That
give
would
him
be pretty cool to
instructions,
listen to.
call a meeting,
Don't
or
know
even
how
say
hard it is to
hi.
find though, and don't know
Never
how
in
long
all
it would
his
take.
years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Um,
Something was very clearly wrong.
Give me a moment
Shocked,
here.
Frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, like I said, if you go to the YouTube channel, I did there's a playlist for Let's Play the Stanley Parable. I did a full playthrough in several videos of the original. This is the Ultra Deluxe, where I guess they've added, supposedly, from what I've heard, and the hard part is some of the endings are so tricky to find that who knows if you'll find them all. I think somebody had said that they've added about another 5-6 hours of content to it. So I don't know. But we're going to play through several endings. So like I said, the narrator said he leaves his office, and I'm in my own little private office. I have my own door. I've got my office chair, got my phone, my desk, my old school computer, complete with monochrome monitor, it looks like over here. Some papers, big old pencil sharpener. Now, I could just ignore the narrator, and what if I close the office door? Nope.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
And reset. And there you go. I got one of the hidden endings. So I disobeyed the narrator, and I just locked myself in my office saying, nope, I don't want any pressure. We're just staying here, waiting to be told. And so now we start in the office again with our open door, and let's get out of here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So in here we've got our first room that I have my own private office, but there are some cubes out here, and there's like 1, 2,
no matter how hard Stanley
3,
looked,
4. There's about half a dozen cubes. And there's a copier. So there is another ending that I do know about from the original game in this room, but I'll do that in a little bit. There's at least a couple ones in here that I don't remember exactly how to do, but let's keep moving. So we'll move down the little hallway. Here's another suite of another cube farm. Got some locked office doors, private offices, papers on the floor. It's like Office Space meets general weird, like, making fun of video games. This game is so great. I love this freaking game. Okay, we got a bunch of more hallways. Office 416. All these closed. So now we come to a lobby or a empty room.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
And there's a pair of them. I'm going to go to the one on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I love this gag. Oh, this is just one of my favorite dumb gags in the game. So we go a bunch of L hallways again.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
And if I wait...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
So yeah, it's just your ordinary like lounge. There's a vending machine, there's a soda machine here.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
So you just wait, and it's just like, yep, it gets weirder. And so yeah, there's just a couple chairs in here. There's a couple more chairs and a couch. A couple more chairs.
When a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
And I think that's basically the last thing, so we'll move on.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
So I could go forward or I could go left. Let's go left for now.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So we're in like some like maintenance room thing, and there's a elevator to my left, like a freight elevator, or I can go back on track to the other side of the room in the office. So I've only played for like 2 minutes, and there's already been like, what, 3 or 4 different branching paths that I could do now. So, I mean, that's how there's just tons of these branching decisions. And that's why you have to replay the game like so many times, but it's worth it. So we're walking forward.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So, there's just this big old meeting room with some PowerPoint slides flicking through. And we're going to leave there. We're going to go up to the office. Oh, God, there's a room that here I'm going to wait for a couple turns. But there's a broom closet right here. And that's a pretty good ending, too. We'll do that in a little bit.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So I could go up and down here as well. We'll go up. And now we're in this like fancy wooden hallway. Got some, like, it's just a lot fancier. Got our private bathroom up here. Somebody wrote a bunch of crap on the wall. Oh, this is different. So the graffiti changes. When I played this yesterday, just to try it out again, I had completely different. That's interesting. I have completely different, like text on the wall there. Let's see. So I'm gonna see if I can do it, just because I'll get a weird ending if I can pull it off. So our boss's office is right through here. And the doors will lock behind me if I go into it. But if I do it quick enough, I can run in and then run back out again. And then the doors will lock me out. Let me see if I can pull that off. You got to do it just right. Nope, didn't go far enough.
Stepping in.
Got it. So now I'm locked out. Okay. Now we got to go find another exit. So we're going to get another weird ending. And I do happen to know where the exit to trigger is, so we're just going to do that. And we go back through the meeting room. Now, I could just go downstairs and do another ending, but I know this one has a specific ending. Although this one I don't
McKenna 2169. I like the narrator's sarcasm.
Oh, it gets way
it's
better.
Really funny and hilarious.
Oh, this narrator is so perfect. He's so good. That's one of the main reasons I love this game. It gets way better, trust me. So we're going all the way back almost to my office. And literally right outside my office door, this door that was locked before, 428. I go in this dark room, and now I get a loading zone. And now we're in some bizarre, like, stairwell that there's a elevator that doesn't work. And now we just go up a whole bunch of flights of stairs, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or better. And you can try all these doors, none of them work. So we're just going up. This particular story branch doesn't really have much narration. Most of them do, but this one is one of the few that doesn't. But again, we're just climbing up a whole bunch of stairs, going around another floor, and then eventually we're going to get to... What do we get? One more floor? We should be nearing it, I think. Damn, there's really a lot of floors. They just drag it, and that's kind of the joke, is they're just dragging out like, oh yeah, just go up this tons of stairs thinking there's something going to be cool, and then there's really not. So now we're in this blank, dark room. We're walking forward. There's just this dark void of nothing. And now we see this door thing, whatever. Cut to black. And reset. That's kind of your weird joke ending. So now I'm going to do the...
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So now I'm going to go and actually do the main... I'm going to follow the narrator as he instructs. So you're going to get to see that. So this is the story that he wants to tell you. Except I am going to make that one detour again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous,
McKenna 2169. If any of my family members want to try it, or any other people that have a little bit more vision than me, is this game free or does it cost money?
It's like 25 bucks. It's like 25 bucks. I just love every time...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating.
So the first time you enter the room, every time, he has new dialogue. So if I go in this room, like, for the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, he'll have other different, like, witty dialogue that were just, why are we so fascinated with this simple employee lounge?
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, so you've seen this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're back in the fancy hallway. This time we're actually going to go into the office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Yes, because the narrator didn't just tell me.
Opened passageway.
So a secret door opened in his giant office, and the lights went out, and now we're in this weird, like, dark, dank tunnel with, like, construction lights. It's super dark. And we got another freight elevator going down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, so let's wander out of this elevator into this weird, like, I don't know, just maintenance-y type
Stanley
area.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Giant letters above the door, Mind Control Facility, and then there's this path off to the left, which we'll go there eventually, and it says Escape on the left. Giant catwalk up to a round platform with a weird switch light bulb thingy on it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible
literally
secret
hundreds
did this
of screens
place
around
hold?
me.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Another catwalk just opened up. Giant abyss below me. It's like dark in here. Like I said, there's literally probably hundreds of screens around me now.
Now the
Got a camera button.
life, their true nature revealed.
Bunch
Each
of
bore
numbers
the
on all
number
of them.
an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, we got another catwalk. And now we got a button for like a lift
mind
that'll go up.
Facility. It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay, catwalk to the elevator, and now we're going up.
He refused to believe
Little round elevator.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
McKenna 2169. Are some of the endings gruesome like in some of the other games like Death or Blood or anything like that?
There is an ending or two where you can die, but it's not gruesome.
But here was the proof.
It's more weird and funny.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
A dark room with a whole bunch of like weird techie control panels and computers.
This machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
And across the room, we got, like I said, we got all these buttons and terminals and just some weird tech room thing. But we walk through these doors, and we find the master control, essentially. Mind control. Mind control idle. Okay. Awaiting input. And
at last he found the source.
I have two choices.
Power. He knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So it wants me clearly to turn things off, which we'll do because he wants me to. And it's pitch black.
McKenna 2169. How do you die?
Blackness.
Is that some of the endings that you would be willing to show on this video?
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Is it over?
Well, and some of it's really left vague, like you don't know if he's dying or not.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Giant
and yet,
door opening up. It's pitch black
Stanley
with a little bit of light coming out.
Still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even
nice
power
blue sky
that
with clouds
seeking, but happiness.
and
Perhaps
trees.
his goal had not been to understand.
The door is finally lowering slowly.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
And there we go. It is done. We're walking down the stairs.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So we escaped. Oh no, Groundhog Day. We're back in our cube. So here we go again. This time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to turn the system on.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
And then his other lines just repeat, so we'll move on.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, we'll do that.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, we'll do that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Got our fancy hallway again.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845.
So if you played the demo, the demo was totally different from the main game. It wasn't just a snippet from the full game, and there's a gag referring to the demo here. If I keep hitting 8...
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
You'll have to watch my old playthrough, because I do play through the demo as well, and then you'll get that joke. It's pretty funny.
2845.
I love it, because the narrator, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to make the narrator mad, because I'm too oblivious to not get his hint. What can we look at? There's bookshelves around here. There's a nice leather chairs.
It turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and
a
door
couch.
Just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
Had to do that. Alright, so we're going to go back down the freight elevator. And we still have at least 2 more choices down here. We can go to that side path, or we can turn the machine on. We're going to turn the machine on this time, because this is a pretty good ending, too. And a lot of these...
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So, like I said, some of these, they're obvious because there's paths, there are certain buttons you can press, but some of them are really hidden, and you have to find them. So this stuff is all going to be the same.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, same catwalks. Come on, hit the thing.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Get our last
This mind
elevator
control
switch.
facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
All right, up the elevator.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okay, now we're in our...
Roof, the heart of the operation.
Yep.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Nah. We will become master of it instead.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example,
Loading mind control system.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
So you're locked in this big control room and all the controls and all the machines do nothing.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other
See,
times,
I can't get out of
I
here
let the
now.
office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you
So we've
try
got
to
this
make
big
sense of
terminal
everything
here.
and take back the control wrested away from you. It's
Press
a glitch.
any...
Almost hate to see it
Okay. Oh,
go.
okay.
But I'm
So we're gonna
sure
try to
whatever I come up with
get
on
the
next
power.
go-around
Nope.
will be even
Can't turn the
better.
power back off.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Giant
You know what?
countdown
To hell
timer
with
in the
it.
big room,
I'm going
too.
to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me.
Yeah, and the
What's the matter,
door was
Stanley?
open and now I get close
Is
and it
that you have
shuts.
no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away.
50
You're
seconds.
still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Turn off!
Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say...
Screen is shaking horribly now, and we're dead. Alright, and now we're back in the office again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So there's one more. May as well, since it's the furthest one away. We'll do the... Oh, so now we get a new door that says new content. This is where the start of the Ultra Deluxe kicks in. But we're going to stick to the original game for a few more runs yet. Because there's a few gags that I really want to just relive again because they're funny.
To a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again.
Object underscore in space. This game looks so freaking cool.
I love this game.
I'd be able to play it without looking.
Just a kind of,
but I could see it being doable, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to have some sort of indicator where, like, interactive items are and, like, where the paths that you can go are.
Really
yeah, this game, like I said, even though it's not totally blind accessible, it is a very stream-friendly game for blind viewers because it's all about the narration.
Yeah, like a sound cue.
Right. Yep. Well, and you would have to have some guidance too. You would have to have a navigation system because, like I said, I'm not sure when you came in. Thanks for stopping by. But there, like I said, there's literally, we've already explored like probably a half a dozen branching paths, and I know there's like way more. Like there's one right in front of me that I could go down, that we will in a little bit.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
and
got back on track.
Have you heard this game before?
Right. I figure the narrator would be down to record more stuff, potentially. Object underscore in space. I just came in.
Okay. Yep, so we've done a few... were you familiar with this game before the stream?
Object underscore in space. I saw someone streaming it yesterday and now I am addicted, LOL.
Okay. Yeah, so you're kind of familiar with... Basically, I did a couple endings where, he turned off the mind control. He's just this office drone. And then the one I just finished was the one where he... he died in the nuke because he didn't have the bioprint and the narrator thought he would get back at him. So now we're going to do another ending. We're going to go off the side path.
Here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So I'm going to try to do this really fast and see what he says.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered. Desperate for answers, he began turning the room over looking for clues that might help. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety.
He didn't even give me the code. That's what I wanted to see.
For a few moments, with some calming new age music.
It's this battle of wits against you and the narrator. You're doing little things just to piss him off. It's great. I love this game because the original was great.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright. So now we're going to take the side path, the escape path, because going in that mind control room, as far as I know, there's only 2 endings in there, and we've done both of them.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Long,
the door
narrow
behind him was
hallway.
not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
And there's just this giant hole, or little hole here, kind of glowy red. That just seems ominous. And there's, yep, down this. I don't know how he didn't break his legs, because he's going down this. Ooh, boom. Big old like elevator shaft or something.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise...
So there's these
it
giant
reflected that
plates
his
that are
life had
kind of
been
mashing
no
together
consequence
ahead of you.
whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
But wait.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Or not. Now we fall again, and we're in a dark room. Oh wait, okay, I can't see shit down here. Where are we going? Oh, this way, okay. So there's just this tiny, like, it's pure black, and as we get forward, we see more of the thing. The Stanley Parable.
Before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I love how self-aware it is.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That's deep. So now we're in this black and white area, which is basically a museum of everything that's in the game. So we have a wall with all the paintings that are on the different, that you see throughout the offices. There's your computer model. There's little like dioramas of like all the office floor plans and stuff. There's a little office cube. And then, yeah, there's just like different doors. And, you know, you walk through a few of these different places. Again, it's like a museum. This weird post-death museum. Got another big painting. Another bunch of... We've got some signs here. Climbing up some stairs. And we've got a bike on some sand. On a thing there. And the whole... Okay, this is just a whole bunch of text. I'm not going to read that. But it says War Zone, and then there's a whole bunch of text. But we got a bunch more paintings. Yeah, this is your surreal ending. okay, we got our, this is the projector, okay, yep. And yeah, like I said, we've just got a bunch of little exhibits. Oh yeah, the alarm clock and the phone. Yeah, and like I said, it's been probably a good several years since I've played this, so even the content from the old game, which we're in now, I don't remember how to do all of it. There's many endings that I do remember, but there's some, especially the hidden ones, that I may or may not remember. But we're going to get into some new content in a little bit. But right now I'm just kind of giving you guys a baseline of the original game and how great it was even back then. So there's not a lot else to see. Like I said, this is just the museum. If you want to look around, you can pretty much. We're going to go through here, which is, I believe, where we need to be.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Giant switch. On. The Stanley Parable. Let's switch it from on to off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move
so now we're back on that path where we can get crushed.
Your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Dead. And now we die for real. Oh man, this game is great. It's so dumb. And now we're back in the office in a second. So now we're going to get to more surreal stuff. So this isn't.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I'll show you an
Stanley decided
ending.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That, yeah, my friend Chris and I, we spent a lot of time playing this back in the day, and each one of us would find different endings. Like, oh, try this. So
No
you
matter
can't.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You can't jump in this game, but there's this weird glitch on this desk. If you find it the right way, you can get on this chair, and then you can get on the desk. And this part is hard. I was trying to do this yesterday. Again, if I get, there's this open window, or this, it's just a pure white outside of the building. You don't see any scenery or anything. But if I can climb over this computer somehow on this desk, come on. It took me a while to do it. Come on, get on the damn desk. Again. Okay. Maybe. See, I need to get over the lip. Ah, crud. Now I gotta get it. I gotta get over the lip of this cube so I can get over by the window to escape the building. So it's like, oh, you're gonna escape the boundary of the game. But it's not easy to do. Come on, get up there. I won't spend too much more time on it, but come on. Ah, I fell off again. I can get on the desk, but this damn computer and this cubicle wall. Oh, I think I got... Nope. Come on. Oh, I'm so close. Come on, get over the... Okay, there we go. Now we can crouch, and we fall through the window. And now we're stuck in a void of white.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag
McKenna
yet?
2169. This is really cool. Glad I was able to drop in.
Yep, I love this game.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now,
Yeah.
here comes the real
Are
question.
you sick of this yet?
What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this
Perhaps.
whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay, so the only way out of this that I know of, I don't even think I can click. So I think I have to actually begin again. Because it just puts you there. So we could try...
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting.
Let's see if I
Was
can
it
get
a
up there
painting
again.
or a
Oh wow, I
photo?
did it right
He
away.
could no longer recall.
That was
No
lucky.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That was luck. Let's see if it is
First,
different.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
So let's say yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley.
Oh God.
People considered
I don't remember
so
this.
manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons.
Wow,
He
this
pushed
is
them
awful.
like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Ugh.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
All right then. And this might just... Oh, I think just the guitar part, I think it just repeats. So he doesn't sing anymore. I think I vaguely do remember this now. So yeah, the guitar part will just repeat until I... Now I can restart again. Now we'll move on to another one. You know, we got to do the broom closet ending because that's just too good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hope you guys are having a good evening so far. Thanks for stopping in.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Okay, that's not creepy and weird at all.
Yes, really.
Mechanic 2169. Have you thought about if you're willing to try hardcore mode on the Veil on video? On a stream, possibly?
I'm not sure. It kind of just depends. Like, there's so many things I want to play elsewhere too that it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just, like I said, my backlog is just insane. And so, like, sometimes I'll go back to old games. Sometimes I will, I'll play new games.
Through the maintenance section,
I'm just not sure.
Ahead to the opposite door and got back on track.
Okay, yep. So we have to go through the meeting room.
There was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, so let's go into the broom closet here that we've been passing.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I closed the closet, and we just got some shelves. There's some tape, some tools, got some wrenches.
No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Got a hose down there. So just like I locked myself in my office at the beginning of this stream.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Still waiting.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Even got the fluorescent buzz up there from the light.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Okay, that took a turn.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
All this just for standing in a broom closet gag. I love it. And I think... I can't remember if there's an actual end. No, I think there's a way. I think if you sit here... I'll sit here for a couple minutes, or a minute or so. I can't remember if the game... Sometimes the game will just reset on you, and sometimes it won't. But I do know if you do this, if you go into the room closet more than once, like you try to do this ending again, eventually he'll get mad and he'll literally board up the door so you can't go in it anymore, because you seem to be fascinated with the broom closet. So yeah, I think... we must not be able to do anything else in here. Maybe we have to leave.
Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
So let's go downstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And now we're going down. It's all red here.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
Got a
considered the
A-B,
possibility
little
of
parking
facing his
garage
boss.
here.
Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Oh, yeah, get your parking lights on there, dude.
To Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Yep, they totally
At
are.
last, he came to the conclusion...
We're going through some
that it had been
hallways.
on the
There's
tip
our
of his
car
tongue.
again.
He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm
Got some
dreaming!
hallway with some chairs
He yelled. This is all
and
a
some
dream.
filing cabinets.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found
Copier.
an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
More stuff.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So,
There's
he
our car
imagined
again.
himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he
Whee!
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, and I'm
Now
going
the voice
backwards
was
and now it
describing
loops
itself
again.
being considered by
No matter what
Stanley,
direction
who
I
found
go.
it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
It's getting dark.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
And no, we're not. We're back in the hallway again. We're still looping.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day,
Stanley
her
lays
walk
on the
was
sidewalk.
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yeah, okay. That would be your weird dream ending. And now we're back.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, that's a new line. Hadn't heard that. So there's our secret, or our new content. I want to do one or two more old endings because there's a couple that are really good yet.
Open doors. He entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So we might as well... No, let's go forward. Let's take the real detour.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So now we're in some giant, like warehouse construction-y area. And there's a big old elevator lift thingy here that's going to take us to the other side.
Off on the wrong foot here.
But what
I'm
happens...
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
And there you go.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I don't remember some of these
When
lines.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought.
I think...
What a room. What a room, what a room.
No, this is new.
What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room.
All right, then.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Well, let's go straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Now we'll get on the lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
I'm gonna
is
try.
that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone... What? Really?
I jumped onto a lower catwalk.
Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
So now we walk into another room here. And we got a door. Go down some steps. Okay, got another storage room of sorts. Okay, oh yes.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
We'll go blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley
Put us back.
through the red door.
Blue door?
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
And it's got a big glowing
Stanley
arrow
walked
pointing to
through
the red door.
door.
And you have to literally turn around to find the blue door. He like rearranged the room and everything, so we'll still go through that
All right,
door.
Fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
And
Was it
the
worth
developer
ruining
textures
the
are
entire
based on an
story I'd
old game
written out
before the Stanley
specifically for
Parable
you?
became
Do you not think I put
a
lot of
game.
time
It used to
into
be
that?
a
Because I
mod.
did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
What if I went in the old ones?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free
1
to
through
be
5.
honest. I'm
We'll do a
looking for some
3.
real critical feedback here. Oh, of course, a 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
We'll do a 2.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Nope.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
This is great.
In this game...
Oh, no,
baby
okay, there's
crawls
2 of
left
them.
Towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right.
So there's a little
And if he
baby on
reaches
the right.
fire, you fail.
And the
It's a
fire's
very
on the
meaningful
left.
game. all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
Now here's the thing
I
we're
think
not
the
gonna
art
do.
world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
So it's going toward the fire. I hit the button and it resets. Now there is an achievement. You have to literally do this for 4 hours, and there's no way in hell we're doing that. After about a half an hour, it adds another, like you can't just keep clicking. It adds another button to stop something else, so you can't just cheese it either. Bye-bye, kid.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing
Oh,
that
this is
might improve
great.
the
I love this
experience
next
for you.
part.
I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Loading. And now, back in 2013.
Aha!
Oh, wait, what the hell?
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
Oh.
What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me
we're
that
in
you are meant to play as a
okay.
creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of
We're in
erotic
Firewatch.
Yes,
Nice.
that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh, this is great. See, you used to come in because in 2013 Minecraft was all the hot buzz, and he would lock you in this like dirt cave. This is totally new to this version. I did not see this coming. This is great. I have no idea what's going to happen now. So yeah, Firewatch is a really cool game too. So it's a kind of a walking game like this where you don't really do too much, but it's another narrative game. But we're going to walk down this tower, down our stairs. That caught me off guard.
No, it can't be.
Okay, where is this going? So we're just going to walk.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Okay, what's going to happen now? I'm very curious.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Did not see that coming. Oh, this is...
Wonderful.
This is new,
this is exactly
too.
what I had in mind.
The hell is
Just a nice
this?
big box for you to run around in.
The hell
There isn't
game
any
is-
possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I don't even know what game this is
Okay, so what
supposed
exactly do we do here? Let's
be.
see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley,
Sports
I think
ball.
it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, is this supposed to be like Rocket League? Yeah. Ginormous ball.
Are you
Yeah, this
doing
is
it?
supposed to be
Are
on
you winning?
Rocket League.
Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but
Oh,
if
get in
one
there, get in the
ball
goal, come
generates
on.
a certain
No.
amount of raw
Wait, what do we...
adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh, this is all new content. I have never seen this before. This is kind of great.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Kinda.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what
I can't go up the ramp.
goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
So, I don't know if we're just left in here now, or if he'll come back eventually. See, that's the weird thing with this game, is there are endings where you don't, like, and that's the beauty of it, is you don't know if it's going to be the ending, or, like, do I wait 2 minutes, or do I reset the game? Do I wait 5 minutes? Like, what's the gag? Like, you literally have to either wait it out, or look it up on the internet, and have someone else figure things out for you, and then you can replicate that. But, oh yeah, Rocket League right on the side there. Oh man, yeah, both of these things are totally new. Because like I said, they put you in Minecraft before.
Hold on.
Oh!
What are you doing?
Oh, you can jump off. Okay, Wait, what?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh man. Okay, this is new too. I have no idea. Okay, more falling. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, like I said, this used to be a mod for like the original, I think Half-Life or Half-Life 2. And then they turned it into the real Stanley Parable game. I remember this part. Yeah, I forgot about this. Yep. So it's got all these old grungy textures, and I think there's a computer I have to find. There's like all these orange, or all these hallways, and it's really dark. But yeah, it's like a dirt floor. You can just hear it. Okay, yeah, here's our computer. Wow, that's an old... Yeah, wow, look at how old those computers look. I thought there was something I could click on here. But it's not doing anything. I thought it would because it's supposed to reset itself, I think. I mean, there's no obvious button. I mean, you got this big terminal. I seem to remember this resetting, but like I said, they've played with this just enough. Now they're starting to screw with me based on what I remember. So the Minecraft thing seems to be gone unless there's another way you can get to it. I guess I can wander around these halls a little bit more. And if not, I'll just reset, but... Okay, yep, I leave, and then... Okay, now it's resetting, I think.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, it's black. And reset. Okay, that was different. Oh, there's one more ending, and I'm trying to remember how...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wish Chris was in the chat room. I'm trying to remember how to get the... There's a bunch more old endings, but there's one more in particular that I want to remember how to get.
He entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Because it's really funny, too.
It was okay.
It was okay. So that was the last one for the
Stanley
lounge.
took the first open door on his left.
So we're going to go forward.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't...
I have two ideas on how this works, so...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got...
Now we're going to let the lift go all the way across. We're not going to jump off or jump on the catwalk.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about
I'm curious if I jump down there again, like if it would go back and he would show me the Minecraft one then, just for old time's sake. I'll try it later.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let
So we could have gone down there
life.
too. We could have gone in that blue
She's
door,
been
or the
waiting.
red door. I wonder if that would have been different too. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been so long. Okay, so now we go in
That's
this
her, Stanley.
room.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another...
Now we're
pick
locked
up
in a
the
room
phone.
with a little phone on the desk. Oh, that's right. There's two options here, too. I'll pick up the phone. Okay, now...
Is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread.
Now
out of
we're in
the
an
oven.
apartment. Okay,
All
427. Outside of
Okay,
a
there we
hallway.
go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
That...
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
What if I go down the hallway?
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Brick wall pops up. That's great. Hey, weird
This is a very sad
white dude,
story about the death
little
of a
mannequin
man named
guy.
Stanley.
Okay, good morning, employee 427. Press H on your keyboard. I'll hit F. Okay, it's going to make me hit H.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature
We're
of
standing in a
his
tiny, like microscopic kitchen and like living room area. I mean, like I've seen campers bigger than this. Okay, press X.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
All right.
But in his mind,
Press I.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize
The TV turned
about
into
his
a
own
clock.
job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Okay. Press C. Okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At
I don't
last,
remember if this is the
choice.
way it was in the original or
It
not.
barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
I remember the apartment and I remember the brick wall. I don't remember if all this dialogue is the
As he
same.
wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
Been there.
Down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
That's the one I'm
Down
trying to
another was a
find.
game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable.
Yeah, I really want to find the one with the line, because that's a pretty funny
It
one.
was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path.
I have
Mustn't
two
there be?
ideas where it could
Perhaps if he
be.
played just one more time.
All right, hit N.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing
Oh, the
the
room
same
is totally
buttons he
changing. Now
always
it's an
has.
office.
Nothing has changed.
It's
The longer he
not
spends
a
here, the
kitchen
more
anymore.
invested he
I was
gets,
looking in the one
more he
place.
forgets which life is the real one.
I was just zoning out. Okay, hit K to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. It says to push X to be at home. To be at work. Okay, to be at work in the morning. So, we're in Purgatory, apparently, which is a small room with an office, cubicle, and some filing cabinets, and a clock. And apparently I'm going to have to hit X.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that
And
he'll
now it's
understand that
morphed
every
kind of
second
into
he
my old
remains
office
here
where I
is electing to
started.
kill himself. How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Alrighty, press L.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Please
and
die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
And it resets. Okay. that seems slightly different than I remember. I'd have to go back and look at the original, but that seems slightly different.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Alright, so hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys are still here and enjoying the stream. We're not done yet. We're going to play for a little while yet. Like I said, aside from that surprise, we haven't even gone into the new content room yet. There's one more ending that I want to try to get, and I don't remember. I think... I'm trying to remember how to do
Stanley
it.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered. This was not the
It's
correct way to
either
the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Going through that
Perhaps he
red
wanted to
door
stop
when
by
we
the employee
disobeyed
lounge
him,
first,
but I
just to
think
admire it.
it might be down that lift in the
was
maintenance
okay.
room. It was okay.
But eager to get back to business,
So we're going to
Stanley
go in
took
the
first
maintenance
open door
room
on his
here.
left.
First door, and then
And
we're
so
going to
he
go down
detoured
this
through the maintenance
lift.
section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm going to go down an elevator, a little freight elevator thing or whatever. I hope this is the right way, because there's a couple
But
really
Stanley
funny
didn't want to
gags.
go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no.
Nah.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
No, the door just closes on you.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, this might be the start of it.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Sure it is. Got some glowing headlights there. Got our little generator thingy. We're going to go down some stairs into some dark... Oh, okay. Yes, I think it is. Okay, now we're on a catwalk high up in that room.
No. This isn't right at all.
This is
We're
where
not
all
supposed to
the
be here yet.
observation
This is all a
monitors
spoiler.
are.
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
The spoiler, yes.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay, now I think...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm trying to remember...
When Stanley... Wait.
now there's a bunch more doors.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over.
Yes, I think
Completely
this is
fresh.
the path where
Everything
I
should
wanted.
be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
All right, let's go down this new door. And we got these winding hallways, and I think they're pretty much the same. They're kind of repeating. Wait. No? Okay, now we're in a kind of a other different hallway. Now we're back, okay. Just a bunch of winding
I'll say it.
hallways.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right. Back in the office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
It's worse. There's no doors now.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Guess we're going back. No, just making sure some of these doors aren't open.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
And now we're just taking continuous left turns until we hit a dead end.
Okay, let's head back the other way
with
and
some
retrace our steps.
Chairs. And we keep going. Yep, now it's just wrapping in on itself. And now we're in an old junk hallway.
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall.
Old wooden area under construction.
In an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Sure
did.
did.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yes, here's the line.
All right, I've
Now.
got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost,
The
I've
Stanley
employed the
Parable
help of
Adventure
the Stanley
Line.
Parable Adventure Line. Just
On the
follow
floor.
line. How simple is that?
Now, what if I told it, what if I went not?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Yep, still no doors. So now we got to go back to the line. Okay, we're following the line back in our old maintenance hallways.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Pretty
Or to
much.
put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Are we still live?
Got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Because I was checking my phone for a second.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Uh-oh. Oh. Ha ha ha. I thought it got quiet in here. Crap, I hope we're not missing this part. I'm gonna check after this little line part is done. I love how the line just goes everywhere. It's like, yeah, not on the road, but it goes up and around the ceiling and just all kinds of stuff. And this music is just so dumb. I love it. The fern!
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Okay,
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, it's still the line. I don't know if we're actually live, because my phone is not loading Twitch. Let me check my OBS. It says we're streaming. Do I believe it? Let me check my phone again. Because I was trying to load the thing just to see the chat and see if anyone was in there. And it just wasn't loading at all. So I apologize. I don't know when it went out. Okay, I mean, I get the main Twitch thing comes up on my app. But when I go to my profile, it just hangs. Let me see. All right, let me go to... I'm just going to load my Twitch page on my computer. Echo. Dude, that's trippy as hell. Dude, that's trippy as hell.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable.
Alright, so we're going to pause it again. So clearly the stream is live. And did the chat crap itself? Well, oh, that's right. Well, shoot. All right, let me try one more thing here. I'm going to try something.
Illegally cited. Hello. Illegally cited. Hello.
Okay, so at least on my desktop, the stream does seem to be working. Maybe we just don't have anybody in the chat, or it's just not appearing to me correctly, but the stream is definitely live. So I'm just going to pretend that things are working correctly, and if things... I apologize if you can't get in, or if something is weird, but like I said, other than my phone being stupid, it seems like things are working. When I load twitch.tv/illegally-cited, it works fine on my computer here, so we're going to continue a little bit more. Let's finish this particular...
simply start wandering in, well, I don't know,
story
how about
here.
This direction.
Got our office. Okay, we can go here. Got a hallway.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
And it's just another... Oh, it's an infinite
Whatever it
loop.
might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay, maybe not infinite. Now we got another kind of hallway. We don't really know what...
Oh, no, not
Oh,
you
the line
again.
is all goofy again.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
He sounds so defeated.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How
Little
important
round
we
room with
mustn't squander the opportunity.
the door I
In fact,
came in
I
and 2
believe I
doors
need a
ahead of
minute to
us.
think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I
The
know
glowy
that
line,
each door has to
wee.
lead somewhere.
The red
which
line this
means
time
that
with an
somewhere
arrow.
at the
Let's go
place
opposite.
Where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all
Got a
one
whole
giant
bunch
ending,
of text here
and we're supposed to restart the game what, eight
on the wall.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Blink. No, not
The
yet.
timer stopped.
Okay, the
Does
screen
that mean,
shakes.
Did we do it?
That can only
Did we
be
break the
good.
cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I
yeah,
hope that's
about
where
that.
we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ah.
8:02 p.m. While in Do Not Disturb, Weather Gods, Twitter, and Overcast, button. Twitter, grouped, 1 hour ago, Harry Weather retweeted, at Costy Bob, I have just started a business specializing in rainwater. We are going to rely heavily on cloud storage. Button. Activate to expand, actions available, Overcast, 1 hour ago, Twitter, grouped, 1 hour ago, Twitter, 1 hour ago, Twitter, 1 hour ago, Harry Weather retweeted, Twitter, 1 hour ago, Harry Weather retweeted, at Costy Bob, clean is just putting stuff in less obvious places. Button.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so
Face ID.
I think... let me see. I think we might be...
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Alright. Okay, so now we're back in the regular realm again. So that was our confusion ending. What I'm going to do... I got to get up and stretch, use the facilities, but I want to keep going. So just in case something screwy did happen, I am going to stop the stream momentarily, or for a few minutes, and I'm going to take care of a couple things that I need to, maybe refill my water, and then I will restart the stream just in case, like if anyone's trying to view it on mobile, and if they're having the same problems that I am with my phone. Let me try to load my Twitch on my phone again, just because, yeah, I don't know why it's not. See, Twitch, the app loads, but when I try to load this, it just, I get a spinny thing, and it's like nothing's happening. So for now, we're going to wrap this one up, and presumably, hopefully, we are going to continue in a little bit. Let me close the game real quick, because we'll start from scratch again. Okay, so we're going to go there. So hope you guys did enjoy the stream. I hope you guys didn't get cut off. Maybe you just left, but in case something went wrong, I do apologize. But hopefully we're going to shut this down. We're going to restart the stream and be back in the next one. So thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and youtube.com/illegally-cited, where this will go up as a stream archive in the future. So until the next one.